Assalamualaikum and good morning. I be to Madam Salina and my fellow friends. Today we are from the group 4 and we will be presenting to you about the movie review titled Wish Dragon. Our group consists of 4 members. First, Nadira. Second, Nurul Badira. Third, me, Cikgu Nur Atirah Madiha. And lastly, Najwa Izzati.
Now I will explain about the synopsis. Dane is a Shanghai college student who wishes to see his childhood friend, Lina. 10 years ago, Lina and her father, Mr. Wang, moved away from their neighborhood. One day, during delivery, they received a teapot from elderly man. The teapot contains Long, a wish dragon that can grant 3 wishes to whoever is holding the teapot and call that person his master. At the same time, Mr. Wang hired a gang of goons to get the teapot because he wanted to use the wishes to save his company from vacancy. After they get the teapot, Pocket, who lead the gang of goons, betray Mr. Wang by taking the teapot and making wish for himself. He wants everything that he touched to become a gold, and suddenly he touches Long. Long changes to gold and he can get into the spirit world after his last service. He refused because he wants to help Dane use his last wishes. Dane used it to save Mr. Wang. After all that, Mr. Wang started a new business with Dane's mom. They built a restaurant that sells soup dumpling. Long tells them that he needs to serve 10 more masters as a part of his promise to return to Earth. Then give back the teapot to the elder man who actually the guardian of the gate of the spirit world. There are 2 stakeholders, which are Mr. Wang and the Pocket. Now we look at Mr. Wang. He won the teapot because he wants to protect his business from vacancy. His business effort failed after a year of operation his business. He knows that the teapot that can grant someone wishes. Hence, he wants to get the teapot from the elderly man. Next, he starts another business and become a business partner with Dane's mother. Mr. Wang and Lina come back to their old neighborhood. Dane's mother served soup dumpling to them and suddenly Mr. Wang get an idea to build a business. They open a restaurant that sells soup dumpling that are inspired by recipe from Dane's mother and get a lot of customers. The second stakeholder is Pocket, the leader of gang of goons. He wants the teapot because he wants to become a rich man. He works for Mr. Wang to get the teapot. He realized that he is the one who needs the teapot, and Pocket starts to become selfish. He acts like he wants to get the teapot for Mr. Wang, but after getting it, he refused to give in to him. He wants to use the wishes to become a rich man and no need to work for his boss. Next, he asks the wish dragon Long for his first wishes to turn everything that he touched into gold. He knows that he has become Long Master. He also knows that Long can make a wish for anyone who holds the teapot. So, he asks Long to make everything that he touched change to the gold.
Next, I will continue with the main characters in this movie, which consist of main villain, heroes and heroine. After that, we will discuss the ethical dilemma that has been faced by them. First of all, we will talk about main villain character, which was held by Mr. Wang. Mr. Wang is the caring father to Lina, who is the heroine in this movie. He also the person who asked the caster to steal the teapot. Ethical dilemma faced by Mr. Wang is whether he should ask the caster to find and steal the teapot from Dane or not. If Mr. Wang asks the caster to steal the teapot, he can make a wish to recover his business. However, he could harm Dane's life because Pocket, the leader of the caster, who capable in fighting, will do anything as long as he could get what have been ordered by Mr. Wang. Next, the ethical dilemma is whether Mr. Wang should attend her daughter's birthday party or not. If Mr. Wang attending Lina's birthday party, it will obviously make Lina happy. However, if he does not, Lina will be so disappointed with his dad's behavior. After that, we will move to the hero character, which held by Din Song. Dean Song is a college student and a part-time worker who dreams to reunite with his childhood friend Lina. The ethical dilemma faced by Dean is whether he should expose himself as Dean or keep hiding his identity. Dean thought Lina will stay away for him if she knows about his real identity because Dean appears to believe Lina will be less comfortable with his situation because Dean is still in a poor state, whereas Lina has changed her life for the better and become more famous. The second one is whether Dean should ask Long to make him look like a wealthy man for one day at Lina's birthday party. Dean makes his second witch to temporarily appear as a wealthy princeling for one day, hoping Lina will notice him and rekindle their friendship. Besides, we also have a second lead hero, which is Long. Long is a powerful dragon that can grant wishes of his owner. The ethical dilemma faced by Long is whether Long should satisfy himself by entering the heaven or he need to fulfill this last wish. Long finds his human self at the entrance to the spirit world. Despite being tempted to go through the gates, he pleads with the guardian of the gates to return to Dane to grant his last wish. The guardian agrees, but on one condition, which is Long has to grant wishes to Ten Master again. Lastly, the heroine in this movie is Lina Wang. Lina is Dane's childhood friend who moved with her father years ago from the neighborhood where she lived and now lives a lavish life. The ethical dilemma faced by Lina is whether she should leave Dane when she was little to follow her father to the city. Lina and her father left all she could want to settle in a better class society and live the life of the rich.
Actions taken by villain from a consequentialism point of view. Consequentialism is an ethical theory that explains whether the outcomes become good or bad. Based on the movie, when Mr. Wang desperately needs to save his failing business, he has sent some criminal thugs, led by a man named Pocket, to get the legendary jet teapot, which it can grant any wishes. At point when Mr. Wang heard that the teapot is in Dane's hand, his daughter's childhood friend, which makes him rush with the thugs to steal it. Mr. Wang's action is not relevant because he could harm Dane's life because of his own interests and can make her daughter Lina disappointed toward his action. Then, the second consequentialism is when Mr. Wang spent much of his life working hard to provide for his daughter's wealth, fame, and future. Unfortunately, this resulted in him being distant and cool in his approach to achieving this goal. Furthermore, when Mr. Wang had already achieved his dream to become a wealthy man, he also can give everything that Lina wants. However, he unintended isolated his daughter, disadvantaged her with the commitments to maintain their family reputation, and even neglected Lina by not being available for Lina's special moments. It is good for Mr. Wang to want to give his daughter happiness and wealth, but at the same time, Lina feels neglected because of her father is too busy with his work. Next, the actions taken by the hero from a deontology point of view. Deontology focuses on the rightness or wrongness of action themselves rather than the consequences of those actions. An act is considered correct when you follow your ethical duties and obligations, not because they may result in a good consequences or happiness. For example, Dane has lied about his identity to Lina, which is he said that he was a rich man. However, he is just a poor man who is a college student and a part-time worker. It is an ethical situation because he did those actions because he do not want to lose his friend Lina. Later on, Dean tells the truth about his identity to Lina and they become friends again. For the next slide, I will pass to the last presenter, which is Najwa.
So now, if we are in the villain shoes, the ethical action that we will take based on the golden rule will be when Mr. Wong wants to amass a wealth so that Lina can live happily ever after. Mr. Wong did so in order to protect the business while also providing a comfortable lifestyle for his family. From our point of view, we are ashamed of Mr. Wong's actions since he is likely to steal Dane teapot in order to satisfy his desire to be fabulously rich. His action had consequences when his followers stabbed him in the back by pushing him off the building's roof. Furthermore, we are in the state of Mr. Wong's guilty conscience toward Dane when he acted to save his life, despite the fact that Mr. Wong had done something bad to Dane all along. As a result, the lesson we can draw from this is there are no shortcuts to success, especially when we do bad things to others just to satisfy our own desires. This is because we will never know if the person we always do evil to will one day have been the one to help us. Then, I believe that we should do good to our fellow humans even they disrespect us, because that kindness will be returned to us.